Keep paying attention. Don't lose focus.
Where
Don't
are
think
we?
this is the
Where
one
are
heist.
we in the movie? Because I can't believe the Dolphins. This is such a great Dolphin story that Stephen Ross. I mean, he's just been a laughingstock. Just a laughingstock, and he was gonna get Brady and Sean Payton, and what?
Mahomes is coming.
I don't want to say it, but maybe.
Tyreek
Hill's here. Yeah.
Mahomes. Now you're just playing fantasy football.
No.
But since we're here,
Nope, bigger fish to fry.
This
Dana.
would be the diversion for Mahomes.
Exactly.
I think I follow now.
You put the Brady back, you take Patrick Mahomes. How about that?
What's a better distraction name, a bigger, sexier name, a crown jewel of a museum than a Tom Brady? None. Rest my case.
I think I owe Stephen Ross an apology, too, based on all the reporting that we just heard. For a year, I felt like he predetermined his next head coach, and he did. But it wasn't the one that we all thought. We all swore it was Jim Harbaugh. We were wrong. Wow.
That was
that was the diversion. Oh my God!
It is the
heist.
Thomas.
It's not Mahomes. The diversion was
part of the
Harbaugh.
plan.
We were so sure.
It might be part of the plan.
It's the Thomas Crown affair. It is.
It might be the bigger fish to fry. Yeah.
Tommy might not know that he was getting played as well.
Yeah.
Tommy's the hired gun at the beginning of the Thomas Crown affair that's part of the initial heist that gets caught. And he's like, oh, what did I do? And it's like, nope. You were played,
but
Tom
where,
Brady.
as they explain to us, as they show us all the pieces from before that we missed in the structuring of the tapestry, we've got a steakhouse where Sean Payton and Tom Brady have mapped this out, right? They're having drinks and they've mapped out.
They think they have. They haven't.
But this isn't like who's the star of the caper? Who's Clooney here? Is it Brady?
Well, the person pulling all the strings at the end of the movie is Bill Belichick. No. Very clearly, because he won.
Well, Brady really won.
No, but if the start of
Arians is gone.
If the start of the caper is indeed the genius of Belichick, we all thought for a minute there that he confused Flores with Dayball. No, he heard Brady was going to the Dolphins. He's like, everyone knows that if he wins there too, I'm going to be exposed as I don't know what I'm doing. It was just him the whole time, and so I've got to show them what I'm doing.
No, you guys are the coppers that are way off the scent of what's actually going on here. At the end, the mastermind gets revealed. Chris Greer.
Wow.
Chris Greer. How do I throw them off the original scent? Racism lawsuit against me.
The black general manager of the Miami Dolphins.
It's almost too perfect. But what's his end game, Spence?
I mean, he ends up with Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Super Bowl. And Rich Ross out of the picture in the meantime.
Two quarterbacks.
It's a corporate coup, and as he becomes the first black owner of the NFL next to Tom Brady.
Problem solved, baby.
The amazing thing is that none of these ideas sound that insane. When you consider the original plan was Tom Brady retire, Sean Payton retire, come up with some crazy scam so that somehow they end up as head coach and quarterback of the Dolphins.
I don't know, Stugotz, because Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio did a good job of confirming the details of this absurdity, this Game of Thrones that we're talking about, as Brady watches Jeter and Jordan do their legacy dance at the end of their career with documentaries and everything else. And Brady's like, what's mine look like? I'm going to be Jeter over here. I've got another conquer in me. I want ownership.
Yes.
I've got a relationship with the Dolphins. I know that coming back gives me that story, the story of, you guys remember where you were. That's the rare sports story when Tom Brady retired. Like we all heard the news at the same time and we're like, oh shit, Tom Brady retired, as if it would be stunning that a 45-year-old person would retire in football, but he was so great last year that it was still surprising and we all reacted to that. But it wasn't a retirement. It was a carefully crafted, chosen by the word statement that looked like a retirement to all of us and was just him saying goodbye to Tampa. And it's why Boston got mad. Why didn't you thank us? To go from that, like, I don't know how you report this all over the place in a way that, echoes, but the story that almost happened is a lot crazier than how you reacted to a retirement that wasn't meant as a retirement. And imagine now the scene of Tom Brady and what the Dolphins lost here just in spectacle. Never mind anything else, just in spectacle. They just got Tyreek Hill because they want to be a team that matters. Now make it this. Now make it this where Stephen Ross, desperate man who doesn't want to be a laughingstock anymore, throws just a desperate hurl of just get me big famous people at the end of my life, as Brady's got the relationship with the guy who will be the owner tomorrow if I die. Like he's in that place in case that wealth has to transfer, because all of these arrangements have already been made. And one of the final arrangements was that Stephen Ross was trying to make the Dolphins matter like that, and they had it. What an amazing story to have curtailed by the unprecedented racial lawsuit filed by your own coach a few hours later. That shit's crazy.
If you think that's crazy, wait until Patrick Mahomes gets here.
It's also why Stephen Ross and the Dolphins absolving themselves and pinning the Deshaun Watson thing on Brian Flores makes no sense. Because this man is clearly desperate for a quarterback. He will come up with any cockamamie idea to try and solve his issue at quarterback. Like, this is an insane idea. It nearly almost worked. But imagine, like, the pitch meeting where he's, like, in the Dolphins' offices going, I have it. We get Sean Payton and Tom Brady to retire so we can get them to be with the Dolphins. Like, he is attempting to search for any solution.
But he got them to retire.
Yeah.
He got everything.
Stephen Ross had the caper pulled off. The evil billionaire. What was that sound?
Well, I mean, Billy's
story's
making
not
very
done
valid
yet.
points,
Yeah,
right?
the movie's
story,
not over yet.
Let it play out, Dan.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
an hour 20 into
this
this.
is not
this
the
is a
caper
long
he
2 hour,
wanted,
40-minute one, yeah.
What does it get, Thomas Crown Affair, on the Billy meter? Are we going to now have movie reviews by
wow.
Billy? Because I saw that Showtime is now going to 99-minute movies or less, where now you have birthed...
I thought you meant the movie Showtime, because I saw that one recently, too. That one, Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro. We talked about that.
Oh, that's so bad.
The Thomas Crown Affair doesn't really meet the Billy qualifications for a movie. 70% on the tomato meter, 77% with the audience, and runtime hour 53. So it's a little on the
bit
longer
long,
side.
yeah.
It was way too... Well, okay. I have an addendum, if I might, to my movie classifications. Now, this one obviously does not meet any of them. I was feeling off that day, and I just started watching just anything. But here's the addendum. Heist movies get a little bit longer because they need to play out. So heist movies can go up to like 2 hours, maybe 2:10, because heist movies need to play out. I don't need the 90 minutes in a heist movie.
You don't have a preferred genre that you like more than the heist, correct?
Ooh. Action, adventure, heist. If I could get like an action comedy, that's like great, where it's like an action, but it doesn't take the action too seriously. You know, like I don't need 800 people getting murdered in very gory fashion in an action movie. If I can have an action hero that could laugh at him or herself, I'm good with that.
There was more Fast and Furious news. Are you excited about that? Because every week it seems like Vin Diesel is announcing that this franchise is going to get stronger, even though it would appear that the Rock feud was real. The Rock will not have anything to do with this anymore.
Listen to me, Dwayne, if you're listening. If you don't appear in one of the final 2 installments that they're filming right now, the Fast franchise, like what happened to Will Smith getting banned from the Academy should double happen to you. 20 years, you should be out of the Academy. Not that you're ever going to win an Academy Award, but 20 years you shouldn't be allowed if you don't appear. And you know what I think that they should do, honestly, and this is just Billy Gill's opinion, just one man's opinion, not that you're asking, but you know what I think they should do?
What?
You know what? Because Vin Diesel's kind of hinted at, like, comebacks from basically it seems like they're gonna make Paul Walker come back again at some point in this thing. Yeah, he said something that hinted in that way.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Said angels will return.
exactly.
No, you can't,
So-
Billy. Come on, you can't use. You can't.
I'm not. I'm just saying. He seemed like he hinted at something like that. I guess for some final closure, maybe in the last portion of the last whatever. But listen, if we can make Paul Walker come back, we can make The Rock come back. Okay. I'm just saying, maybe The Rock doesn't want to be there, but like if we can make like Tupac perform at concerts, we can make The Rock come back in the Fast and Furious, whether he wants to be there or not. Okay,
against his will.
So-
I like
I
that.
think that there needs
Play
to be some
ball.
sort of blessing.
Play ball, Dwayne, or you're going to be back anyways, because Hobbs has not disappeared from this franchise no matter what you say, okay?
He's going to CGI The Rock into his film just so he could kick his ass.
I'd be down for that. I honestly would.
Do we really believe it's only going to be 2 more?
That's what they said.
That's
no, well,
bullshit.
It's never
There's
two more.
it's one more, but it's a two-parter.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
they're wrapping up.
grandkids. I'm gonna have grandkids, and it's gonna be like Fast 30.
Hopefully.
It's never going away.
No, come on.
It will
No,
never go
Dan,
away.
it's never
Come on.
going
When
away.
you think it's
No,
gone,
keep
there'll
thinking
be
it's
a
going
reboot.
away.
So
Yeah,
No,
we're
yeah.
done telling that story, but back to Japan.
You guys,
those drifters in
you guys,
Tokyo.
are you guys telling me right now? Because I think about this stuff now with aging, where I'm like listening to today's music, and I'm like, shaking an old man's finger at like, will these be the classics in 40 years? Are you telling me that you believe the Fast and Furious franchise is going to be this era's Bond movies? Because
Yeah, it's gonna continue.
the Bond
Yes.
franchise is just about dead.
No.
Yeah, it'll continue. How else is Vin Diesel going to be making money?
But it won't be
He
Vin
doesn't need
Diesel
to.
at 80.
He
It won't be.
needed to.
It won't be Vin Diesel at 70.
You
Will it?
think James Bond
No.
is dead? I mean, James Bond will never be dead.
Okay, but,
007.
but Daniel
I mean,
Craig has quit the franchise,
Yeah, they've
and
dealt with this before, but they've never
So?
dealt with actually burying 007. But they can play around with the timelines a little bit.
No, this is different. This, I think, okay, we do two more. So we do 10 and 11, right? And then that wraps it up. And then I don't want like a reimagining of the story with other actors playing it. That's going to be weird. What I want is like, exactly, like in 10 years, we come back and it's like an expendable situation where we're getting the gang back together.
Oh, you're getting it.
Yeah.
100%.
in their 60s.
Yeah, oh,
You're
100%.
getting it.
and
yeah.
perhaps their 70s.
Yeah, and then maybe there's like a young gun they bring up somewhere.
I saw this the other day.
this kid. Yeah.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger and Stallone were in some prison movie from 10 years
Escape
ago.
Plans.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow,
There's
they
two
look
of them.
their age.
There's Escape Plan 2, yeah.
Were they both in Escape Plan 2?
They tried to
Good
get that
question.
franchise off the ground because I have not heard
Oh,
of
there's a
Escape.
third on the horizon, Dan.
Can-
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Okay, now this doesn't classify as a heist movie for you, though,
No.
right? This is
no, I believe, and I could be wrong. The way that this movie worked was they were intentionally putting Sylvester Stallone in prisons to break out of them to test the security system of the prisons. And then, spoiler alert, if I remember the movie correctly, because I've seen a lot of movies like this, if I remember the movie correctly, we find out. Spoiler alert!
This is your wheelhouse,
We
correct?
find
no, but
out-
this is your.
This is my Roy.
This is your
Yeah.
movie. This
Yeah.
is
this is
Escape
where
Plan.
I'm Roy. Yeah, I believe, and I could be wrong, that this is like the most secure prison in the history of whatever. And then it's on fire, and there's like the big escape. They don't know where it is because they just kind of get like flown into it, whatever. We find out it's a barge floating in the middle of the ocean, so there is no escape. I believe is what happened in Escape
Stole
Plan.
that from Face Off, too. I wasn't a fan of that. There was Escape Plan 2, Hades, where Schwarzenegger decided he was done with the franchise, so they brought in Dave Bautista.
A good replacement.
Right.
Yeah.
Better than The Rock. We said that before.
There was a third, by the
Yeah,
way.
Escape
Yes.
Plan, the Extractors, where they just boosted Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's role in the third film.
And they just announced they're doing a fourth.
Really?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They did that with Death Race, too. Death Race went a little too far. Death Race was a good movie. Have you seen Death Race?
I have
It was
not.
Statham.
Well, don't leave here yet. I don't
I
want
saw
to go.
Ghost of
Oh, I'm
Mars
here,
with
baby. I'm
Statham,
not going
with
anywhere.
Statham, and he had hair in it, and it was jarring.
I can't. Yeah. Best career decision was Statham getting rid of the hair.
He did well. Well, now he can do it into his 60s and 70s like all these guys do. How old is Liam Neeson? Can you look this up for me? Because he's trying to make sort of a mutant Bond franchise that is just sort of all the Takens in different form.
I'm not in on him.
What would you guess?
I'm going to guess close to 70.
I'm going to say like 75.
He's 69 years old.
What?
I can't see him as an action hero. I haven't seen his Takens or any of that, but I just can't.
You
he
haven't
seems-
seen Taken?
No, he seems like an aristocrat to me. I can't
You
see it.
got to just see the original Taken. You would
Yeah.
love the original
I don't know.
Taken.
Taken was an all-timer.
Yeah, it's a good
You would
movie.
love the original Taken, but I need to
Taken
go.
2, we start losing the plot a little
Isn't
bit.
there like a
how often
Taken-
can this keep happening?
Isn't there like a
Hey,
Taken
Taken, we get it. Okay?
Ice Road Truckers edition or something like on Netflix now, where he's like a trucker that has some sort
he
of
just
kidnapped
started
or
he
something?
just started doing Takens that weren't called
Yeah.
Takens. It was like Taken
Right.
with wolves.
Yes,
It was-
in the wilderness, on
Yeah.
a train. Yes, but this is what I want you to do, Billy, and I want you to get on it right
my
away.
homework.
The movie podcast that's in your wheelhouse is Taken, 'N. And you say things like Dave Bautista is better than The Rock. 'Cause
He
we
is a
just
better
skip-
actor
we
than The
just-
Rock.
We just skipped
He's a
past
bet-
that, and I think I need to stay there
Let's
for a second.
around the room, everybody. Lewis, he's not in here. Around the room, who's a better actor, Dave Bautista or The Rock? I don't think you can even argue it. Who's a better actor, Chris Cody, Dave Bautista or The Rock?
I'm gonna go with The Rock.
No. As a thespian, That's what we're talking here, not who's had more successful movies.
Are you trying to allege that if things were fair, if this was merit-based?
If we were casting Hamlet, right, and it was Dave Bautista versus The Rock in
Who's
an
got more
audition.
range is
I gotta
what
go
you're
Dwayne
asking?
there.
No way!
Yes,
Dave
definitely.
Bautista has better acting chops than The Rock, and it's no disrespect to The Rock. He's in some of my favorite movies.
I'm with Billy. Davy Batts.
Yeah.
Mm.
David Batts is not a bad actor.
No, he's not a bad actor.
No.
Just
but
got less range, I think. Not that The Rock
Whoa.
is
what?
incredibly
What are you
rangy.
talking about?
The Rock's done dramatic roles. Dave
Oh,
Bautista.
please. What has he done? The Tooth Fairy? That's not a dramatic
Oh, no,
role.
He did the follow-up to Donnie Darko that was a commercial flop.
Wasn't Bautista like in space?
You're listening to Taken. Apostrophe and with Billy Gill, Dave Bautista is better. You're saying if this were merit-based, Dave Bautista would be the action star that The Rock is because he's more of a thespian. He's got more range.
They're both good actors. I think that Dave Bautista might be a slightly better thespian than The Rock.
All right, put it on the poll then. This is very controversial. Our most controversial take since yesterday because people are really arguing about this Little Caesars thing on whether or not that's bad pizza. I want to get a hierarchy of pizza rankings here that's official and formal on behalf of the show. But put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Who's the better actor, The Rock or Dave Bautista?
Something that might surprise you is Bautista's 4 years older than The Rock.
Wow.
Yeah, despite The Rock beating him.
I thought he was younger. That's how good of an actor he
Well,
is.
like when Bautista was a late bloomer in wrestling, he had actually entered the wrestling scene years after The Rock had left for Hollywood. But The Rock is 49 years old. Batista's 53.
Here's another take on Dave Bautista. I don't know why I have so many Dave
Bautista,
Bautistas opinion. Not
younger-
a Hall of Fame wrestler.
What?
Well, he was announced for the Hall of Fame, and it was like a COVID Hall of Fame, and he's like, I don't want it unless there's a crowd there. So I think he's waiting till next year for Hollywood, which, according to industry sources, The Rock will also make his return to wrestling at that WrestleMania, face Roman Reigns.
So he said no to the Hall of Fame? I mean, when the
He's
Hall
put
of
it
Fame
off.
comes calling, you
He-
go to the Hall of Fame.
No, he put it
I
off.
mean,
He wants a
weird.
crowd there. And now I guess he wants Hollywood. And The Undertaker went in this year. He didn't want to be upstage. Dave Bautista likes himself some Dave Bautista. But to be fair, I like myself some Dave Bautista.
I like myself some Dave Bautista. I can't believe he's older than The Rock and both of them younger than Austin Hooper. Kevin Durant, Stugotz. I wanted to transition to this because this is a funny story. And we have I am watching the modern day Larry Bird, okay, or whatever it is that in Kevin Durant, I'm watching a player that I'm like, how does he do that? That hasn't been done before. That's a really unique skill set. It's what makes him in that sport the second best player, whatever you want to say, first or third or whatever it is. But because he grew up in this age and because he's one of the few stars willing to engage in social media in a way that's combative and real and honest, his legend being birthed in front of us is so complicated because he will go after his trolls, and Larry Bird would never do this. The mythology of sport, and Michael Jordan would never do this. You would never get this access this close. The sneaker companies kept you away from it. You wouldn't get something that resembled truth all the time where, oh, look, he's sensitive and he likes to fight everybody on Twitter. That seems not healthy for him mentally, but maybe competitively he just can't stop, and so he needs to fight the world because he's already conquered basketball. And they fried Stugotz. Whether you think they won a championship or not, Kevin Durant is, a legendary player, one of the best we've ever seen.
They won a championship. He didn't.
Okay, but did you see the back and forth that he is now engaging in on Twitter? Because a man named Nick Gelso is responding to Honest Larry. Honest Larry, of course, is a conversation about Larry Bird, and the two gentlemen think that Larry Bird would make Kevin Durant sit in a corner and cry. That's how good Larry Bird was. That's how weak and how soft Kevin Durant is. Larry Bird smoking a cigarette would make jumpers in Durant's face, and Durant would sit in a corner and weep until he was dehydrated. That's what Larry Bird would do, according to Honest Larry. And Nick Gelso says of Durant, if he were playing against Larry Bird or if they had to play each other, Larry Bird, who looked like an old Ukrainian woman in a headscarf. Nick Gelso says he'd be, of Durant, so sad. But no matter what he feels inside, Durant always portrays himself as an angry, mean, big, bad villain. LOL. Fraud. To which Durant says, it's crazy how the internet has made grown men attention whores. Isn't it?
I agree with that Gelso guy, man.
Do you? Okay, very good. Because you exist to say this, and then when J.J. Watt makes an appearance, you roll over on your back because your words for 10 years mean nothing.
I have a couple updates here just to close some ongoing loops. Jacob Stallings, the catcher who Chris criticized his defense, is a Gold Glove winner. And in the Rock,
He won it last year.
Yeah.
Again, that is Chris
The
Cody.
most recent.
I'm telling you, though, if you're watching the
they
game.
got him because of his defense.
Witty, what's the stat you just told me? I'm not. No. Go ahead.
Yeah, per MLB Statcast, they do catch framing ratings,
Oh,
number of
please.
runs you save from your ability as a framer. Jacob Stallings was 21st in the
Hello.
league in this stat.
Attaboy.
Hello.
That's not a real thing. That's just someone is on. Someone's
That's off the top of his head.
What
by the way.
website is this?
This is baseballsavant.mlb.com.
It was- no, no, it-
Wait, give me MLB.
That's what he refers
Baseball
to as.
savants.
They're like, we
Can you
have a
read me the
lot
stat
of people.
again?
We don't want to lay people off. Like, just come up with a stat for us,
Explain the
please.
stat one more time,
No,
please.
people need to understand
Mike.
when he says this is
Framing, please. Am I framing at
baseballsavant.com.
Michael's?
It's what he calls, yes, thank you, Chris, his mind. He is not reading any of these stats. This is just stuff that Whittingham knows at all times. And I do want to get back to that.
Oh, wait,
That's-
I need to know. Is this runs they saved by framing?
Yes, it
How
says
could they
here,
possibly know that?
catcher framing runs convert strikes to runs saved on a .125 run per strike basis.
Wait, go
And
back.
includes
Do
park
that,
and
say
pitch
that
drift.
again. What is this?
Catcher framing runs converts
Slowly.
strikes to runs saved on a .125 run per strike basis.
Are they just
and includes park and pitcher adjustments.
Are they
Unlocked.
so they're okay? Well, I guess that last part is helpful. So they're just taking the probability of a strike being hit out of the park,
No, I think they're
or generating
they're,
a run.
They're taking the probability of a strike that a catcher has framed to be a strike
That was a ball.
and converting it into
The
runs.
moral of this story, he's got to
I'm
frame
confused.
better.
Bullshit
He's
stat.
got to frame better.
Bullshit.
It's
Stat.
made up. Yeah.
Too many stats.
Bill
Oh.
James is rolling over in his grave.
Omar
I think
Narvaez
he's
of the
still
Milwaukee
That's
Brewers
$50.
saved
Nah,
10
it's a
runs.
joke.
Are you sure he's still alive?
Yeah, he goes to that joke a couple of times. He's gonna feel really bad about that in a couple of
You
years.
can't kill Bill James.
I killed him off in a couple of years.
Also, I reached out to Amin about this whole Dave Bautista The Rock situation because he's our movie expert. I think. I don't know. We have like 10. So
You're not taking my idea of Taken, TAK''N, where you review your Billy movies. Billy movies.
We're gonna have 3 movie
That's the
podcasts
thing.
and
I
no
think we're
NFL
like,
podcasts.
yeah.
Is that what we're
this
gonna be
row
doing?
has been hoed already.
Who's
you know?
giving us the take anywhere
row?
in the movies? Adnan's not going to do it, and none of those guys, not Zach Harper, not any of them are going to do
F1
it.
fan,
They're
yeah,
not going to get out
exactly.
there with Dave Bautista is a better actor than The Rock. Where have you heard that for all the movie shit we're making around here? Where have you heard that take? That's Taken from Billy Gill.
So I texted Amin. I said, "Who do you think is a better actor, Dave Bautista or The Rock?" And he said, "Bautista's got more range. The Rock is really good at being The Rock, though." I go, "Thank you." I said, "I love The Rock. He's in some of my favorite movies. But if you were casting Macbeth, it would be, and it's down to Dave Bautista or The Rock, Dave Bautista gets the part." And he said, "Yes, if you were casting as far as who can do Macbeth better." And then he said, not who's going to help sell more tickets, that it would be Bautista for sure. But if it was sell more tickets, it's The Rock. And that's kind of the game that we play in Hollywood, Dan. Sometimes it's about ticket sales.
I don't know the display of
Hollywood.
range that Dave Bautista.
It's
has
just
on
something
his
you
resume.
say when you're trying to sound
he
like
can do- yeah,
an
he
expert.
Well,
in
I
movies.
think we'd believe him in more, though. The Rock at this point is somewhat typecast, whether you want to do a Tooth Fairy movie or not. He's always going to be a version of The Rock, correct?
He's gonna be The Rock.
I
A
ju-
version of The Rock. He's The Rock.
I just text Adnan because like we can't.
Oh,
I can't,
Jesus
how'd you
Christ.
I can't be having what Billy was doing.
Someone text Harper.
I
How'd you
wrote
text him?
better actor, Dave Bautista or The Rock, and in a shocking turn, Adnan was very efficient with this. He just wrote The Rock.
Impossible.
Dueling movie experts.
Billy, let's argue. Billy, get Adnan on right now, and I want you to argue with him this take since you
Well, we
feel
need Amin, too. Well, let's ask F1 what he thinks. Yeah. I turned off my mic in the middle of talking.
Tiebreaker is Zach Harper here.
I'm all out of sorts. I'm sorry.
Samson's gonna be pissed.
Oh boy. Should I ask him?
He hasn't watched the movie with The Rock. Or
We
Dave
won't
Bautista.
count his vote,
You
but
want
he'll
an
feel
argument?
he'll
Hold
feel part
on.
of it.
Let's do it Billy's way. All right, let's do it Billy's way. Let's get all of them and see if Mojo will join us too. And let's just throw everyone in a cauldron and review and let loose with Taken, Billy Gill's version of
Mojo.
Is Dave Bautista a better actor than The Rock? Turn it into the debate of our times.
I'm asking Mojo right now. You want me to ask Jabba Chamberlain?
Mojo just went to like a really fun wedding.
Yeah,
I thought you guys were going to that wedding. You guys, man, will you tell me
That's
what's
a
going on?
He doesn't know the
party.
people that were getting
No,
married.
wait,
Yeah, it's
wait.
a bachelor party.
Can you
But
guys,
bachelor
NSYNC
party.
performed at this. Well, NSYNC, 3/5 of NSYNC.
Billy and Stugotz do
It's more
have
just sync.
people should know that the award-winning God Bless Football voted the best football podcast in America, topping Rich Eisen in a way that I hope that you guys are acting out what you said you were, which is you were going to send Rich Eisen a congratulations for finishing second, like a
forgot about
trophy,
that.
a ribbon.
Second place trophy with his resume.
I think you guys need to do this. I think you guys, you've got the best podcast, football podcast in America, award winning, and you've just made a zoo and a mess of trying to get close to Gronkowski.
We had him on.
I
I
know,
mean-
but you wanted to go to this party. I heard you guys talking. Look, Stugotz, I've heard you. Hey, I might broadcast from this party. I need Abby to let me go to
No,
Vegas.
this is another wedding. This is a wedding of a wrestler in California that had like Seth Green was there,
Yeah.
Michael
Well,
Gill.
It was a celebrity wedding because it was Alexa Bliss, the wrestler, married Ryan Cabrera, who used to date Ashley Simpson, and he had
Right.
a couple pop hits himself. So
Right.
that explains the weird mishmash of wrestlers with 90s pop stars.
I did. Just to be clear, it is Mojo's bachelor party out in Vegas, which happens to be the weekend of the NFL draft, which
Yeah.
also happens to be the weekend that Gronk is bringing back his beach party.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all happening.
in a landlocked. Yes.
Are you guys going?
wanna go? I
Well,
mean-
you guys, but this is the thing. You've been trying to get close to whatever this is for a while. You've been using all your Stugotzian tentacles and resources to have Jabba Chamberlain to see if you can collect enough meathead friends to build a pyramid that gets you to the Gronk party.
Yeah. I mean,
How close are you though? Because I thought you guys.
I
were
need your credit card.
There are so many meatheads on that God Bless Football podcast. It's incredible.
Don't say that about
It's
Golic.
like
I mean-
Optimus Prime of meatheads.
What do you mean?
I'm including Stugotz in
We have
this.
as many
Thank you.
athletes as any show does.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying, but meathead athletes, it
No.
is your domain.
Mojo said The Rock.
Bullshit.
All right, get them all
Waiting to hear
together.
back from Jabba.
Get them all together on God Bless Football for the debut of Taken, and you'd have a shocking opinion every week that would bring all of these people forward.
Mojo did say, but Batista has done some great and different kind of projects.
See? That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
Rock is great
What
as
are
a
the
means head.
different
The
projects?
Rock is great as being The Rock.
Escape
And he's had
Plan 2?
incredibly successful movies. But Bautista's,
What range are we talking about
Range.
here?
I don't understand the range. There was no range displayed.
Both
He's
of them-
Batista. He's either green Batista
He's
or
Guardian-
flesh-colored
he's
Batista.
Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just always. He is wonderful to look at.
He
looks
is great
like
in Guardians of the Galaxy,
He
too.
looks like an action hero the same way that The Rock looks like an action hero, real life immortal.
The first movie that's rated on his Rotten Tomatoes page is called
You
The
can't go
Man
by
with
that.
the Iron Fists.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Is that a sequel to The Man with the Iron Fist?
Can you please? We're getting too sprawling here. Can I get please the description, Chris Whittingham, for Escape Plan 2? Is it Escape Plan or Escape Hatch? I don't want to get
Escape
too
Plan.
Escape Plan 2 because you told
80s.
so Schwarzenegger. I want to know
Proper title.
how old Schwarzenegger and Stallone were when they did this movie.
Well, Schwarzenegger was in Escape Plan 1, which is
I-
just called
no,
Escape
I
Plan.
know, no, but what I'm saying to you is I want to know how old they were when they did Escape Plan because both of them were wearing the years then. And then I want to know why it is that Schwarzenegger bowed out, but Stallone said, I got it. Because I'm stunned to hear that there's an Escape Plan 1 and 2 that stars Stallone, and I don't think Stugotz has heard of either one of these movies.
No, I've heard of the movies. There's a third also with Batista and a fourth in the works, and I think that Arnold's coming back to it.
Oh,
So, yeah.
escape plan. The tagline on the movie poster: the most secure prison ever built. Escape plan. Breaking out is an inside job.
I love an inside job.
Look how happy Billy is. Like this was written
We're all
for him.
We're all just sitting around for Triplets, the sequel to Twins, starring Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Eddie Murphy.
Is that no, that's not coming
Triplets,
out. No,
yeah, pre-production. It was announced.
No.
DeVito,
No.
Schwarzenegger, recapture the magic. They find their long-lost third sibling, Eddie Murphy.
Arnold was 64 for the original escape plan.
He was 66.
64 I have.
Here's the synopsis according to IMDb of
Check it.
Triplets.
Check the web.
Julius and Vincent Benedict
That's
discover they
real?
have a
Yeah,
third
you guessed.
sibling.
Wait, that's real?
Yeah, that's the official synopsis.
When's it coming out?
It's in pre-production.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Julius and Vincent Benedict discover they have a third sibling. And the lot that you have to choose from is either Eddie Murphy or Tracy Morgan. So, it's a real oddball comedy.
$5, Stugotz.
For what?
I think you read the internet wrong and just did math wrong. I think you tried to do math with somebody.
That's when they were filming. You're just assuming Whittingham was right. I mean, that's not fair.
I do
I did,
assume.
I did it from the release date. So it was,
I did it from the filming date. Right? Fine for you. False fine.
God, you have no idea when they filmed that.
No idea.
I think he did math wrong, but he's pointing fingers
Filming,
at me.
Dan.
Fine for you, fine for you, fine for you. He's just shooting.
Look it up.
Yeah, there it is. We miss Greg Cody today, but Stugotz is bringing him double. Stugotz, no Greg Cody. I should have said that before now if you were expecting a Greg Cody Tuesday that has now been derailed by Billy Gill's movie takes. I do want to
I
hear
also
more
saw
of
Get
them.
Shorty, yeah.
Oh, Get Shorty is fantastic.
Is it?
The Rock was in the sequel to Get Shorty. Be
There's a
Cool.
sequel?
Yeah, Be Cool.
Really?
And The Rock actually displays
He
range
has
in this
range
film.
in this one. This one he's got range in. This is the most range.
What does he do? Talk
Range
me
in
into
it.
this.
This is the most range that The Rock has ever shown, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah,
in
slaps his butt cheeks a lot in it. He plays like a guy that's obsessed with the 70s. Was he gay in that movie? I
Yes.
think he might. Yeah, he was gay in that movie. So there you go, range.
Show me something, Bautista. What you got?
Wait a minute.
That's
All you're
range.
saying is you have to act as though you're gay and that's range?
No. If you watch the performance,
He's not The Rock in this one.
he's pretty rangy for The Rock. In fact, when I was going through my mind of rangy performances from The Rock, that would be.
I
up there
think
as one
of
the
this
more rangy
before
ones.
Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy doesn't have the
I
range
think
that
Ballers, you could make the argument there's some range in
Oh,
there. He's dealing
absolutely
with
not.
mental health stuff. A football player dealing like that's.
Man, I did not make it past season 1, so congrats to
No,
you.
I did. I'm not saying I enjoyed season 2 and 3, but he is.
went the whole way through.
He's
I had
he's
to
at
watch
least
it all.
trying
I had to
you know,
finish,
show-
yeah.
He's showing range in there.
He became an NFL team owner, right?
Some difficult
Yeah.
conversations in that show.
I have the synopsis for Escape Plan 2 if you want it.
Oh, of course.
I do, but not before getting more of Billy's thoughts. I did not realize you'd watched Ballers all the way through.
Yeah. I mean, you had to. I was committed. And I knew. The thing with Ballers is you kind of knew early on, this isn't going to be a long commitment. Like, this is not going to be a, 10-season thing. And once I'm like 3 in, I think it went like 4 or 5, like, let me see how this ends. Yeah.
But you sound wildly indifferent about the entire experience. You don't.
I made it, I got to the end. At the end, it was a little, we were doing things like, oh, we're going to give this person an $800 billion contract. And it's like, okay. Which, by the way, I think he gave Patrick Mahomes like the contract that he got. Yeah. I think the only thing that might have been off, and I could be wrong, is they were dabbling with the whole Las Vegas situation and moving the Raiders there or not moving the Raiders there. And I think that I forgot, but I think that they may have made like this grand, like, we're not going anywhere. We wouldn't do this to Oakland. And then like the next year they moved to Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure it ended with the Raiders staying in Oakland, but I could be wrong. I'll have to go rewatch.
All right, great. Spoiler alert.
No one's longing for watching Ballers again.
I'm looking through the IMDb, and while it's not the rangiest IMDb, he does display more range than Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista couldn't do what The Rock did in
No way,
Moana.
Jose. Shut your
Dave
mouth.
Bautista was in Riddick.
I don't think
There you go.
I don't think you understand what range is. Range is about drive. It's about power. It's about saying hungry. It's about devour.
So well said. Whittingham, This is wonderful. Escape Plan 2. Is it as wonderful as I imagine it to be? Now, you told me that Schwarzenegger dropped out. He said, no more of this. I'm out. So Stallone is doing it with who?
He's with Dave Bautista. He's 70 years old.
Don't spoil how it ends.
I'm not spoiling. I'm just
In the
reading
queue,
the paragraph synopsis.
But-
Finished
but-
with an 8% on the tomato meter.
Excellent.
Well, wait a minute. Hold.
My kind of movie.
Fans or critics?
No, that was the critics. The audience score is 14%.
All right, good.
It's fine.
Plus minus 6. Yeah.
Improvement. Yeah. Plus 6.
Okay, what a turd. All right, so you've got...
Well, it was enough to make a third one.
Okay, so there is a market for 8% and 14%. Like, this is, everyone hates this movie, okay? But if you want to just sit around mindlessly and see Batista and Stallone escape from a prison, because that's the mood you're in, and it's allowed, maybe Escape Hatch 2 is for you.
But, Billy, we should trust the critics, okay, who gave this a positive tomato meter. Because
Yes, I like
those are
that.
they
Yeah.
zig when others zag.
Yeah.
You know what? You're all going to tell us this is a bad movie?
Yeah.
No, we're going to tell you it's a good movie.
Here it is. Excuse me. I called it Escape Hatch 2.
Yeah,
it's
it's a big
escape.
plan.
It's Escape Plan
I think
2.
there need to be like categories
$1.
on the critics, right? Because like the same people that like, I don't know, like Romeo Must Die or a movie like that are not going to like Escape Plan 2. So they're going to give it a not favorable rating. We need to have different subsections of the ratings, right? Of the critics? No?
I think that you need to devise a big sprawling plan that includes Mojo to tell me how to think about all of these things. 14%, 8%, because this is your wheelhouse here. Give me Dave Bautista and Sylvester Stallone, both of them 70 at this point. Both of
Batista's
them-
not, but take your point.
Here they are trying to escape from a prison that was revealed last time was a barge. You can't escape because it's the ocean. Although
I think, if I remember.
But spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you right now, I saw the end of this the other day and had a big smile on my face because Stallone had been spoiler alert.
Is this one or two?
The first, I think it's the first.
Was it
one.
on a barge?
I did not know that there was a
If it's
second
two,
one.
I need to leave the room.
This is
I'm gonna leave.
This is what I saw. Okay, you have not seen this. Please, spoiler alert. I do not want to ruin this for anybody. Okay, but I'm just going to tell you that the great escape, as I saw it, was Stallone being flushed into the sea through a toilet, like being flushed into the sea. And then Schwarzenegger picked him up in a helicopter and he hung from the ladder and shot back at the guy who realized at the back of the boat that Stallone had shot out through the toilet system. and so I'm like, oh my God, what a great movie. So that's the first one. And now the second one is what?
All right, so the second one is Ray Breslin manages an elite team of security specialists trained in the art of breaking people out of the world's most impenetrable prisons.
Wow.
When his trusted operative, Shu Ren, is kidnapped and disappears inside the most elaborate prison ever built, Ray assembles an elite team to assist in the rescue.
Hearing you talk about the prison that's a barge made me think of Face Off, that it was also a floating prison.
It was.
And we were just all supposed to take into...
You
Well,
haven't seen Face Off?
well,
Are you
Jesus.
kidding
Sean
me?
Archer-
40 years ago.
Sean Archer, who at this point is really Castor... Well, no, it's Castor Troy, but it's really Sean Archer.
Correct.
He escapes and he jumps into the ocean, and you're supposed to just assume he made it back to land.
Look, this
but
is-
the prison is called a ruin, which is just an anagram for nowhere.
This is...
Also, John Woo insisted that they kept the slash in the title so people didn't think that it was a hockey movie.
So many doves in that movie.
I got to be honest, it helped.
It does.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you slash in hockey.
This is Cage. This is Cage, and
2
this
minutes,
this
yeah.
is Travolta. This is Billy. I think Mike has stumbled upon where Cage became Cage, and it was with these prison movies. It was The Rock with Sean Connery, and
He had recently a boat movie where there was like a jaguar or something loose that was
Oh, I
like
saw that one.
eating people.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Sweat?
like very, very obviously a computer.
He really threw himself into that role. The movie around him is cheesy, but he is playing it straight.
It was the worst CGI I think I
It was
can
bad
remember
CGI.
seeing. Like
Was
at
it the-
one
it-
point, I
what-
think the jaguar was like glitching and like disappeared and would reappear on the screen. It was so bad. The CGI.
I was is that Primal? Yeah, I think that's primal.
But he also made like something that got a 90, Mandy, where he's just going full Nicolas Cage.
That's a great movie.
But hold on, just because he's got another movie with a truffle pig. We love Nicolas Cage around here. I think Mike has a Nicolas Cage pillow that he sleeps with.
I do, but it's disguised. So when I have company, I just put the red side up, but then I can brush my hand on it and boom, Cage's face.
You just put it away.
No.
Never.
Because very quickly, as soon as people enter my home, I impress them with my magic Nick Cage pillow.
Billy, you are telling me here that you have not seen Face Off. You've not seen many of these movies that we're talking about that we have to get in front of you. But Nicolas Cage becomes a star back then, Mike, whenever it is doing prison heist movies. And the question I want to ask, not prison heist, prison escape movies. And what I wanted to ask you, Billy, is which is the better genre for you? Is it heist or is it prison escape?
That's a good question. I actually saw a prison heist movie 2 nights ago called Misfits. I had to pay for that one. Pierce Brosnan is in it. It's new. Yeah. Also Nick Cannon is in it. Yeah.
You paid for this?
Yeah, it was $3.99.
You paid $3.99.
Well, because it
Nick
sounds
Cannon
crazy.
was in a movie with Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
might do that.
I think it was a 2021 movie. Yeah.
Can you get me the scores on that one, Billy, please? Because I don't believe that's a good movie. I saw the trailer for that, and I'm like, because I was hopeful when I saw Pierce Brosnan. I'm like, maybe the Thomas Crown Affair. He'll bring back the old charms.
Oh,
but
Wait, Billy, were you on a Pierce Brosnan high?
Yes,
and that's why
was.
you bought the
I was. I've been on a Pierce Brosnan high lately, and it started with a movie with Pierce Brosnan and Selma Hayek and Woody Harrelson, I think. I'll find the name of that movie. That was a heist movie that was like incredible. It was a diamond heist.
I will say there are a lot of elements of the Rotten Tomatoes page that are Billy Gill friendly. The plus minus with the audience to critics is 34. 19% with the critics.
Wow.
53% with the audience.
That's this kind of movie.
Runtime of 1 hour and 34 minutes.
Boom.
holy shit!
It checked all the boxes.
In the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Billy, you agree Slash would be a great hockey action movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, Slash would be a good
Strike
hockey
3 for
themed-
baseball.
I think Slash is a good hockey-themed Halloween murder movie where like people keep appearing on the ice.
Are we doing Tim Legler? Are we going to take him up on his
Legs.
offer of doing the show from his house on Halloween in Florida, his new house, as he's canceled? Like, we've got to figure out how to get up there, either one of us or some of us. In
Florida,
order to
we could drive. Yeah.
Where's the
celebrate.
house?
It's northern Florida. It's probably near your house. where
I
you
get up
might-
there every day. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
and so it's northern Florida that he's moving to, and I do want to get out there. But can you please give me, Whittingham? Can you read the description of this Billy Wheelhouse movie as we create the movie podcast Taken?
The Misfits. Even a federal maximum security prison can't hold Richard Pace, played by Pierce Brosnan, a brilliant international thief, but his daring escape and high-octane car chase, eluding the FBI and police, ends with him being scooped up by the Misfits, a band of modern-day Robin Hoods, led by the eccentric and charismatic Ringo, played by Nick Cannon, with Violet, played by Jamie Chung, the Prince, with Pace's daughter Hope, a mysterious group who do devious things for all the right reasons.
The ratings? What are the critics? You said it was 19 from the critics
And 53 from the audience, yeah.
When you shouted Nick Cannon, you pretty much lost me.
No, Nick Cannon put it on a little thick. I'm not going to lie. But it had all the elements. It had everything on the tomato meter, the bad critics, the high audience, the runtime, Jamie Chung from The Challenge. It had it all. But Nick Cannon he was doing the thing where he was like wearing lots of costumes and lots of accents to like disguise himself when it was very clearly just Nick Cannon doing it. But he was tricking guards and such. Now, the movie that I referenced before with Pierce Brosnan, After the Sunset. And it was Pierce Brosnan, Selma Hayek, Woody Harrelson, and some other people. Tomato meter, 18%. Audience score, 52%.
Boom.
Runtime, 1 hour 37.
This is it right here. No,
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Don't let the 18% fool you. It's a good movie. Look it up. It's like on HBO Max or one of those. Like you can watch it for Dan. Watch it tonight. It's
Put it on the
good
poll,
movie.
Billy, please. At LeBatard Show, is an 18% critic Rotten Tomatoes score ever a good movie? At LeBatard Show.
But it's like a plus 34 or something.
All right.
I need to do this before
Doesn't care about the metrics now.
we end this hour. I need to have a plan for how we're going to rank these pizzas because this was a big argument yesterday about Little Caesars Pizza. Nobody's disputing that it's value.
Hot and ready, man. Yeah, but value. I don't want to interrupt you, but value, it's gotten up. $5 was good, but now we're up to like $6.50.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Yeah.
but
We need to have a talk.
nobody is disputing that this is not elitism or classism. It is a good deal, okay? It is good enough for the price they're charging you on a pizza. But that's not the conversation we were having yesterday. We were asking whether Little Caesars Pizza...
It's Little, by the way. He's not a rapper.
L-I''L.
It's a fun.
I think that your Little Caesars Pizza, you would say, all of us would say, is cheap, fast. We're agreeing on that, but we disagree on whether it's good or bad pizza. And so I'd like to get a formal, conclusive, official hierarchy of pizza list around here.
Okay.
Cheap is a very leading descriptive
Yeah.
word there. You have to say it's affordable,
Mm-hmm.
economic. Because when you say cheap, you're leading the witness to say this is not
No,
good
but
tasting.
Moderately priced.
No, but under $10 for a pizza pie, that's value.
Well, it's a
Whatever.
great deal.
I don't mean
Right.
cheap
There's just, like,
negatively.
the word cheap, just
okay,
like, you know.
fine. I don't mean it that
It's
way.
affordable.
Well, hold on a second. Are we including crazy bread in the situation?
Well, no,
Because
this
you can't
is
have Little
different.
Caesars
It's
without
delicious.
crazy bread.
No, but
That's
crazy.
insane.
Everyone agrees that crazy bread is great.
But are we factoring in time, whether or not I'm drunk or not, if I'm high, any of those
Yes,
things?
I
Because
think-
at
no, but
noon,
I
Little
think-
Caesars
yes,
is like a 5.
but I think-
at midnight, it's a 10.
He's so
you
right
know?
about that.
Well, but I think
Yeah.
one of the pizzas should be hungover pizza or morning pizza. I think our list of pizzas need. I don't know what is the very bottom of the list. If we're working this out and creating it from the bottom of the list, what is the worst pizza?
I like that. Let's start from the bottom. The worst pizza.
So the worst pizza chain.
I can nominate. I
essentially.
have a
not
nomination.
chains.
No.
I have
Okay.
a nomination.
Well,
Gas station pizza.
Gas station
I've
pizza.
never
It's
even
been there.
heard
It's
of
been
it.
no.
I've
Like
had
I like
a good slice at a gas
I don't wanna
station, though.
say-
I tell
I've
you.
heard of such a thing.
I don't want to say brands, but it rhymes with it. You know, if it's got a couple numbers in the name of the place. Yeah, 7-Eleven. All right.
Okay, no, but those are two different pizzas. No, wait a minute.
But I'm
These are
saying
two
that
different.
pizza that's been sitting there since 7 a.m. That's terrible.
Okay, but this is look. Let's start from no bad pizza. Okay, but the bottom of the list, the worst of it, gas station pizza and 7-Eleven pizza would be two different kinds of pizza. That's not the same. If you're making hospital pizza, doesn't that tend to be pretty terrible?
Well, circumstances, yeah, probably bring
Hospital
down the
food,
taste. You don't have
yeah.
a fair. You
Right.
can't get a fair judgment on hospital pizza because if you're visiting someone in the hospital, that's probably clouding your judgment as to how good
Good
the
shout.
pizza is.
I
yeah.
would say there is bad pizza. Chuck E. Cheese, bad pizza.
Oh, whoa.
I don't like
Yeah,
it.
I'm with you.
No.
I'm with you, Stu.
No.
I'm with you,
How
Stu.
dare you?
Sneaky decent.
I had to run over here because I was hearing about this pizza talk, and I've got I know, but I had to do something else.
What we all said. I have to hear.
far right.
I had to
have
do
hear
something
from
else.
I
Tony.
never thought I'd be longing for Tony to be in the room. But where the hell have you been for 2 hours? You work here.
I thought to myself, Billy. I did. I thought to myself, God, all this conversation.
No, I was
needs
talking to Hildy. It was a whole thing. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Tony.
I
is
have my
Tony-
list
no,
of
but please,
25
Tony,
pizzas.
Tony, shut
the pizza
up for a
conversation
second.
is blasting, and they're shooting hoops. I'm like, Tony, they're talking about the pizza thing. He's like, oh, word?
Tony,
I was talking to Hildy.
I need. Wait, please let me get back to show the audience what happened here because you made it seem to the audience while we were in the middle of, working, that you were urgently needed over here immediately to give your pizza opinions, and we needed to summon you from playing basketball on the roof of the
Well,
Clevelander Hotel.
He has a top 25 pizza list,
Yeah.
though. I mean,
Also, in Tony's defense, we said let's take 10 and went on a 55-minute run about pizza and the Dolphins and all
was
kinds of
gone.
stuff.
We
I don't
never
think any of
left,
this has
I
been
mean.
recorded
But
on
at the
video.
same time, it's very clear that we've been doing show because the show is blasting out there. And I saw Lewis at the charity stripe And Tony was just there waiting to grab the board.
Was Lewis knocking him down?
Yeah, wait a minute. I've seen Lewis 1 second
Yes.
today. He's
Okay.
just been
Lewis
getting
is a
shots
good
up.
height for that
We took a
basketball
break.
setup.
Okay, no, wait a minute. I just, again, because I need to explain to the audience that this is a company and a work environment, and Lewis and Tony are new. They just got here. They were in a kitchen that didn't exist with running water before, shooting Nerf hoops. They're our video department. Esto quemados, both of them, are out there playing basketball on a Nerf hoop instead of doing their job. So while we're doing our job, Tony rushes in here with no clue to the audience as we're in the middle of a pizza this conversation, breathlessly, to give us just a rat-a-tat-tat opinion on pizza I did not ask for, did not want, and don't know why it was so hurried and breathless.
A top 25 pizzas.
Yeah.
I want to
do.
hear it.
We were cultivating our pizza hierarchy before the show.
Yep.
It was Tony's responsibility, and that's why he had to rush in.
Thank you for
I don't
rushing
know why
in.
he's rushing in from somewhere else, though.
Okay,
Again, I was talking to Hildy.
okay,
the
so
whole thing.
I'm glad. I'm glad
Who
that
was
you-
also at the charity shred.
Wow.
She went 1 for 2, by the way.
Did you guys play with Bill Lawrence and McGill on Saturday, or do you guys just all talk? 10% Tony and a 62-year-old McGill.
So here's the thing: there was another volleyball tournament, and the school was like, "Yeah, guys, you can't play." So hopefully this week coming
Oh,
up,
for the love
we're
of
in
God!
it.
I
We're
mean,
in text Bill
honestly,
Lawrence.
Enough of the
okay.
volleyball.
I mean,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to
Just-
say.
Okay, just okay. Jesus, Tony.
Wait, the school's volleyball team is playing probably takes priority over. Yeah.
It's Ron McGill and the creator of Ted Lasso squaring off. The last game ended with Ron McGill calling an offensive foul and everyone quitting. Get out of the way, volleyball girls who have a plan in a season. We
That
need
may
to
be
get-
how the league ends,
we
right?
need-
They haven't had a game since.
Well, they haven't since, but they keep talking about it without actually having the game. Let's move on. Breathless Tony, give me from the bottom up the list of pizza rankings as cultivated carefully by our crew. The very bottom is the worst of the pizzas. You've got 25 together, and you have a top on. This is very controversial. This is going to be a very good list, I'm sure.
Yeah, so this list is actually broken down into tiers, which is what I like to do. I've got 3 tiers of my list, right? I've got bad but still good. I've got good but not great. And then I've got great.
Is there bad but bad?
No pizza is bad, Chris.
Yes, sir. I'm not having
But dude,
that.
you don't
I've had
eat
plenty of
things.
bad
You had a veggie burger at a
Yeah,
sandwich
yeah,
place.
you
Like, give me a
did.
break.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
You're like, no, please. Okay, starting with the worst.
Which tier is this?
You know what?
This is bad
You
but
know,
still good.
I'm sorry,
Bad but still good.
Tony,
BBST.
Tony, let's stop here. Let's just stop, please.
Okay.
I need to stop and gather ourselves here because this can't just be thrown in at the end of a segment, at the end of Escape Plan
I agree.
2. We need to stop. If we're gonna do this officially,
for the live show.
we need to tell people and build up to it because this is an official list and it's coming up next.